Shalom, shalom, all praise and honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kadash, and the Muhammad of Zelda, and the apostles of the Mason who do well, and peace and blessing and salutation to you, Akiam, for pushing this truth to the four winds of the heaven and be on the forefront of the spiritual war, and to make sure Jerusalem is established as a praise here on yes again, as in the days of old. So there was an interesting development between Amalek, you see, the Russian, you see, the Russian foreign minister Sergei Lavrov, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, he called the Amalekite as being the biggest anti-Semitic, and I thought that was spiritual, and also he meant what he said. You know, a lot of people out of there, because they are foolish, it went over the top of their head. The Russians, they know that you Negro Latin Native America, you are the true Israelite. Because, amen, when you go back during the Renaissance period, and you have what you call iconoclasm, and Russia was the last country. When you go back to Esau, as far as Esau, destroying all our icon all over Europe and all over Western and Eastern Europe. You see, he couldn't destroy all of them, and a lot of them which remained, they remained in Russia. So the Russian Orthodox Church, they know you Negroes are from the tribe of Judah specifically. And I think it was last year or whatever, I don't quite remember the time frame, but the Russian Orthodox church, there was a choir in that church which sang about the destruction of America. I think a lot of brothers in DMS saw that choir, and they went on to say, you Negroes keep on sleeping as we see America get destroyed through some nuclear war. You Negroes keep on sleeping. What do you think they have to put that specifically in there? Because they know you are the true children of the Messiah, because the last stronghold as far as Europe is concerned, it was Russia, if I'm not mistaken. You see, when you always hear about the Tsar were Czech, and they were against the New World Order. You see, going back to the French Revolution and everything, man, and while Esau was waging war against commerce to usher in the reality you have today. The reality you have today of digital currency, it started during the time of the Renaissance. When Esau came to power, he went on to wage wars into this different remaining righteous empire, so to speak. Jack was not that much righteous, but he have a little bit of integrity that's going to the Tsar of Russia. The Tsar of Russia, those were the last Jack to fall. See, I don't quite remember the time, but they got slaughtered brutally. They refused to agree with Rothschild, and Rothschild vowed revenge against the Tsar. Not only did he overthrow them from the power city, but he humiliated them. I specifically remember it was Nicholas II. You see, he was Nicholas II. They killed him and his family, man. You see, so the Rothschild engineered what you call a revolution through the Bolshevik, those gangsters, because Russia was a gangster, man. The Bolshevik, they went over there, they caused what you call a revolution. They overthrew Jack, man, because Jack was against the New World Order. moving from gold as a currency to paper money. That was the agenda of the Rothschild. And when you watch the movie about the Rothschild was about into banking. So the Tsar were against that, man. That's why whenever you listen to Esau, he always demonize the Tsar. And you always hear Esau calling Hitler the new, calling Putin the new Tsar. Because the Tsar were against Esau, man. They know this motherfucker was wicked, man. They know if we take over the world, we are finished. So the Tsars were jacked. So Russia was some kind of a last stronghold. That's why there is a heavy icon depicting that the saint were so-called black Latin Native America. So the foreign minister, he is a learned man. The foreign minister from Russia, he is a learned man. He knows about this history. Because there is a lot of icon, man. Even Putin know, all the Russians know, man. That's why he went on to call direct that you use so-called Jews were the biggest anti-Semitic, man. So they kind of maneuvered through that statement, and they said we can't be anti-Semitic of ourselves. And you know these different leaders, they are also into this system. So if he was righteous, he would have come back and he retaliated and said, you are not Semitic. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the Negroes, in which you were against them, because our biggest enemy is Amalek, man. Our biggest enemy is Amalek. So let me get the scripture here. So Amalek was angry, man, at Russia. You see? So Amalek, he wanted the Russian prime minister to come forward and apologize, in which that ain't gonna happen. So you are seeing some escalation, man. And I have noticed the small hatter, or this the 1948, as they are trying to be in good terms with Russian, but it is not working, because Russia against scriptures, man, against prophet. This is Exodus 17:16 say, for he said, because the Lord Yahweh Hashem has sworn that the Lord Yahweh Hashem will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And how will the Lord have war with Amalek? The Lord can't come here and wage war against the small heart, man. He will use his people. So this war is spiritual and both physical. Right now, this war is spiritual, man. But very soon it will get physical. Because Amalek, we are talking about the elite, man, the banking. See, I was talking about the Tsars, man, and the Rothschild. See, the Rothschild, they plotted against the Tsar, and the Tsars were jacked, if you can get that, man. So they plotted and overthrew them through that, what calls the Bolshevik. This is the Russian Revolution, we have the French Revolution. All of this revolution were engineered by the Rothschild. Who was the Rothschild, man? The Amalekite. You see? So Sergei Lavrov, he went full speed on this small hatters, man. He told you was the biggest anti, you know what. And they came back and fired and said, even Hitler also, he had some Jew, you know what, blood in him, in which that's true. Everybody knows that he was a Jew himself. You see, so any major problem you see in this world is because of this Amalekite, man. And you see this little devil, he is angry, man. See? He is angry at Russia. What can they do to Russia, man? See, what can they do? See? So let us read about Amalek, man. See? He says, then it came Amalek. This is Exodus 17:8. You see? Let me see. Exodus 17:8. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in they fed him. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose out men and go out to fight with Amalek tomorrow. I will stand on top of the hill which the Lord of the Most High in my hand. And Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses and Aaron and who went up on the top of the hill. And it came to pass when Moses held up the hand that Israel prevailed, and when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hand were heavy. See, that was a spiritual warfare. See, and this is when you want to go back to this history, man. This war with Amalek came because Amalek was being unreasonable. You see, Amalek was being unreasonable, man. You see, if we go back here, let me type in like this. Amalek was being unreasonable. You see. Let me see. This is the book of Exodus again 17:14, saying, the Lord Yahweh Shemashai said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book. It is written in a scripture, and rehearse it with the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under the heaven. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Nishi. For he said, because the Lord Yahweh Shemashai has sworn that the Lord will have a war with Amalek for generation and generation. That's the same book. Let me get the book of Numbers 24. See, it's in the book of Numbers 24. You see, Numbers 24 and 19. It says, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, that was going to Yahushua, and shall destroy him that remains in the city after the nuclear destruction. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his later end shall be that he perish forever. You see, let's go, let's continue. See, let's continue to build up on Amalek, man. You see, it's a damn devil. You see, so this is the book of Zephaniah 2. I started verse 3, says, seek ye the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, all meek of the earth, that's going to Israel, which have wrought his judgment, seek righteousness, seek meekness, if may be he shall ye heed in the day of the Lord's anger. Against who? Against the inhabitants of the earth. For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation. And now the small hearted or the Amalekites, they dwell here. They dwell in Ashkelon. They dwell in Ekron and Ashdod. And the Lord say, Ashkelon shall be a desolation. Amen. They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted out. You see? So that's what it is, man. Amalek will be rooted out, man. You see? Let me read the list of the flock. Let me see. That's Amalek for you. Amalek is a very proudful demon, man. Jeremiah 15:45 says, therefore here is the counsel of the Lord Yahweh Shemashai that he has taken against Babylon, his purpose that he has purposed against the land of the Chaldean. Surely the list of the flock shall close them out. You see? So the Russo will go to war with the small heart, man. And the Babylon will be drawing in it. I see. We don't know how it will unfold, but that's what the scripture really talk, man. You see, the camp of the saint. Let me get this scripture here quick. You see, so this is the book of Revelation 20. I will start at verse 8, saying, he shall go out to deceive the nation which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to the battle. This is the elite, man. Amalekite, man. If you want to really get deep, man, you see, the number of whom is the sand of the sea. Since they went, if we go back here, it says that, and when the 1,000, years are expired, Satan shall be risen out of his prison. That's going to lead the elite, man. And all their people, the Edomite. But that, if you want to get technical, that was going to Amalek, man. He shall go out to deceive Amalek and Esau. When we say Amalek, we're talking about Esau, because Amalek is the powerhouse of Esau. Don't get stupid there. Shall say this was talking about Esau, brother. Yes, of course, talking about Esau. If you want to go even deeper, that was talking about the banking elite, man, who are Amalekite. Shall go out to deceive the nation which are in the four quarters of the earth. The everyday Edomite, he ain't got the power to deceive the nation, man. You see, go and Magog together them together to battle, the number of whom is the sand of the sea. You see, as they went upon the breadth of the earth and they compassed the camp of the saints that was going to the land of Israel, man. You see, Gog and Magog will compass the camp of the saints that was going to a land. In order for you to have a camp, you need to have, you see, a primacy. You need to have a place. So the camp here, it was talking about a land-wise. This was not going to the elect. Because right now, Gog and Magog, he ain't going to compass the saint because he has scattered all over the world. How will he be able to compass us, man? I am in Tanzania. How will he be able to compass me? So this was going to a land-wise. The land of Israel will be compassed, which is the armies of Gog and Magog, and it was talking about Russia. So I am unable to play this video, as you know, the censorship, man. I will get flagged, but if you watch this video, Amalek was going ballistic on Russia, man. He wants them to apologize and sing of that nation, which is ain't gonna happen, man. You see, and the Lord is driving a wedge between the small hunters and Russia, which is Gog Magog. You see, he say, and a fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. So Amalek, the Lord is going to wage a war against Amalek, man. And as a matter of fact, the Lord have already waged the war against Amalek, man. You see, through a spiritual sense of wheat. As we read when Moses, you see, he commanded Joshua to go and wage war against Amalek. You see, his hand, when he lifted up his hand, were heavy. That was a spiritual warfare, yeah, man. You see, that was a spiritual warfare, man. So we always have this war going on between us and Amalek, man. Did you know that all pornography sites are owned by these small hunters, man? And when pornography, as far as pornography is concerned, that is a warfare against the children of Israel, man. There is the technicality of pornography, man. You see, Esau knows the men of Israel are the men which have the highest testosterone here on planet Earth, man. So that pornography there, it is aimed, you see, to mess you up psychologically. You see, you brother, all of you brothers have watched pornography. I don't need to speak on that. If you watch pornography, your performance in really time will drop. So your testosterone, you will be messed up. You will end up masturbating and whatever. You will get what you call erectile dysfunction from pornography. What is they call pornography-induced erectile dysfunction. You will get your kind of demons. That's a spiritual warfare, is there, man. And many other things. When we start talking about Amalek, we can't even finish it right now, man. So I thought this was interesting, man, especially in the time we're living. So you brother keep on watching Amalek, man. This is this I say shalom, man. Hope you brothers were edified.